Hey everyone, welcome to Alchemy Yoga Online. I'm Natalia and I'm going to be taking you through a Happy Hips class today. Thank you for joining me. So today's class is going to be about energizing the back side of the body, so the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back. Some of us may have been doing a little more sitting than normal, so I figured it'd be a nice opportunity to kind of fire up that part of the body, and then we'll kind of ease into a nice restorative ending if you stick with me that long. For today's class, an optional prop is a block. If you don't have a block, you can use a really thick book or even the edge of a couch. We'll be doing a little bit of traveling across the mat with the block, so a book might work a little bit better today. So just start off by finding a comfortable seat. Take a moment you can sit your hips up on a folded blanket. And then just take a moment to feel your sit bones. Just feel your sit bones grounding you down. And take a deep breath in, rise up tall through your spine. Open your mouth, release it out. Gently close down your eyes. And just take a moment to arrive here. To arrive in the present moment. Notice your whole body resting in this space. Noticing the places on your body that feel cool, the places that feel warm. And noticing any textures or sensations against your skin, your clothing. If you're using a mat, perhaps the mat or the floor. And then gently drawing your awareness inside your body. So just taking a moment to relax and soften your belly. It's a common place we hold tension. Send a breath to the space of your belly. Allow it to release. Allow it to let go. Allow your shoulders to soften and melt down. Take a moment to pause at the space of your heart, the front of your heart space, and the back of your heart space, the space between your shoulder blades. And just noticing the rise and fall of your breath at your heart space. Soften your jaw, unclench your teeth. Allow your eyes to root deeply into their sockets. And then soften the space around them, releasing any tension around your eyes, especially that space between the eyebrows, that third eye chakra. Can you smooth out your brow? And then gently draw your awareness to the tip of your nose. Noticing the inflow and outflow of your breath at the tip of your nose. And today's class is really an invitation to find out, what do you need today? What do you need out of your practice today? And giving yourself the allowance to do those things, even if it's not what I'm doing, really honoring the space that you're in. And that includes your breath. So you can breathe in and out of your nose. Perhaps if you feel a little bit short of breath, you breathe in your nose, out your mouth. Or if you're feeling a little bit overheated today, a nice cooling breath is to breathe in and out of your mouth. And just recognizing what your body needs. And it may change and evolve as we move through today's practice. So a couple more slow, full breaths in this space. Really slowing down the length of your inhale. And then slow down the length of your exhale. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, gently allow your chin to come towards your chest, and then rock your right ear towards your right shoulder. And allow your head to roll forward, and then left ear to left shoulder. Just moving side to side here. It's an invitation to explore the movement. You can slow it down, you can speed it up, whatever you need. And the next time your head comes to center, gently draw it back up. You can blink your eyes open, and you're going to find your way onto your back. We're going to begin today's class on your back. Keep your knees bent to start. You may even just take your feet a little bit wider and gently rock your knees side to side. And then bring your feet hip distance apart. Keep your knees nice and bent. On your inhale, you're going to float your hips up. On your exhale, releasing back down. Just beginning to introduce a little movement. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale. This time when your hips lift up, you're going to pause here in bridge. You can anchor your palms down for a little bit of stability. Press through your heels, lift your hips. And then you're just going to step your feet a couple inches away from you. So just a little bit further away from you. Keep lifting your hips up. And we're just going to continue that movement. Walk your feet a little further away and then lift up. A little further away, lift up. There may be a point where you feel your hamstrings. That's okay. A little further away, lift up. You're going to go out as far as you can with your heels. Anchor your heels down. Lift your hips. You'll be waking up that backside of your body. Take an inhale and then exhale. Gently release yourself all the way down. You can take a moment to straighten your legs, rock your feet side to side. And then you're just going to pull your heels in a couple inches. We're going to do that same action, but in reverse. So lift your hips up. Walk your heels in a little bit more. Lift up. Just keep doing that. Keep walking your heels in closer and closer until you arrive back at your starting point. Keep lifting your hips. Keep breathing. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, slowly roll down your spine until your pelvis releases down. Bring whatever movement you need. And then you're going to rock right over onto your right side. You're going to keep your knees bent and then line your ankles, hips, and shoulders so that they're in one line. And you can either support yourself on your arm or even prop your head up. And then from here, you're going to pick up your left knee and you're just going to begin to circle it around. It doesn't matter what direction you start with. Keeping that right hip anchored down and just moving through your range of motion here. And then changing directions. Tap your knee down onto the mat in front of your right leg, and then bring your foot down behind your right leg. Tap your knee down in front, and then open up, tap your foot down. Just moving here and exploring this movement, noticing how it feels in your pelvis. And then extend straight through your heel. You can just circle your ankle here. And then change directions. And then press through your heel so your foot flexes up towards you. You're going to begin to draw a small circle. See if you can keep your heel at the same level as your hip. Once we begin to lift it up, we begin to move into the side body a little bit more instead of isolating the movement into the hip. And then release the left leg down. So this can be challenging. Sometimes it's easier for us to engage our muscles than it is to release. Like my foot doesn't even want to fully release right now. So you can even bring your left hand onto your hip and encourage those lateral muscles to release a little bit, to relax. Sometimes our body needs a little encouragement to actually relax. And then inhale, lift up, just to hip height. Exhale, release down. Just doing that a couple times, really focusing more so than lifting up on that release down, seeing if you can allow that left hip to let go. And if it doesn't want to, that's okay too. Doing one more. And then resting your knees on top of each other. You're going to roll over to the other side. I'm just going to flip around so that I'm still facing you guys. So stack your knees, ankles, hips, shoulders in the same line. You can prop yourself up any way that's comfortable. And then just beginning some hip circles on this side. Really seeing if you can keep that left leg grounded down. And then change directions. Tap your knee down in front of you, open up, tap your foot behind you. And then press straight through that heel. Begin to circle your ankle. So today's class is going to be a lot of mobility work, like we've been doing, just really exploring different movements in the hip joint. And then you're just going to begin to draw those small circles with your heel. Keeping the foot level with your hip as much as possible. And the smaller you go, the more you're going to isolate the movement in your hip. And even slowing down. And then change directions. And then exhale, release your foot all the way down. Take your time allowing the foot to come down. You may need to bring your hand onto your hip, massage out the side of that hip, encourage that release. And then inhale, pick up the foot, exhale, release down. Really focusing on allowing the side of your body to let go as much as you can. Inhale up, exhale down. Couple more. Next time the foot lifts, bringing your knees together. And then you're going to roll onto your back. And from here, you're just going to begin to rock and roll on your spine. So rocking forward and back until you come all the way up. And you're going to slide a block or a book between your knees. Lean back, reach your arms forward. Heart is lifting here in Navasana, boat pose. Squeeze the block with your knees and then inhale, take your feet wide. Exhale, feet come closer together. Inhale wide. Exhale together. This time when you take them wide, you're going to pause, continue to breathe, continue to lift up through your heart. If you get a cramp, you can come out and release it however you need. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. And then come forward into tabletop on all fours. Just take a moment to set yourself up, bringing wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And then relax. Relax your belly down. Sink down between your shoulders. Allow your head to hang. Maybe even closing your eyes here for a moment. Reconnecting with the inflow and outflow of your breath. And even though this is a hips class, it's always nice to work into the shoulders a little bit. The whole body is connected. So often when we get tight hips, our shoulders are also suffering a little bit. So actively press into the floor. As you inhale, you're just going to spread your shoulder blades apart. And as you exhale, you're going to sink your chest back down, bringing your shoulder blades closer together. So this isn't cat-cow. The pelvis stays nice and still. Inhale, press the floor away, spread your shoulder blades apart. Exhale, sinking back down. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, releasing down. Now you're going to continue this up and down action. We're going to add an extra layer to it. So you're going to also begin to circle your shoulders up towards your ears and then down towards your hips as you continue to move up and down. So just making circles with your shoulder joints. Keep your head nice and relaxed. This is key here to releasing tension in the neck and the shoulders, is to allow the head to just freely hang forward. And then if you can, changing directions. This can be a bit of a tricky action. So if you can't quite get it, don't worry about it. Just continue going the way you were. And then from here, we're just going to work into the wrists a little bit. So take the back of your hand, spread against the mat, spread your fingers nice and wide, and then you can control how much pressure you apply to the wrist here. Release one hand and then go to the other side. Spreading your fingers, seeing if you can press your nail beds into the mat or the floor, and then apply as much pressure as you'd like. And then release. You're going to flip your hands so your fingers point back towards your knees. You can walk your knees in a little bit, tuck your toes under, and then from here, as you exhale, at the same time, you're going to bend your elbows and send your hips back slowly as you begin to really slowly peel your hands off the mat. When your thumbs lift, you can circle them a few times, and then continue to slowly move through the fingers. And then just give your hands a little bit of a shake. Come back into tabletop. Take your knees wide. Big toes come closer together, perhaps touch. Send your hips back. Walk your hands forward. Release your forehead down. Child's pose. Taking a few breaths to just allow yourself to sink into this pose. Relax your belly. Send your breath deep into your belly. Take a slow, full breath in, fill your lungs. Open your mouth, gentle release out. Inhale, rise up into tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, downward dog. Bring whatever movement you need into this space, pedaling out your feet, bending your knees. And then finding a moment or a breath or two of stillness. And keep your heels lifted, your knees bent, really scooping your sit bones up towards the ceiling, finding length from fingertips to hips. And then begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Slide them halfway up your legs. Take a full breath in. Exhale, folding forward, releasing your head. You can bring a little movement side to side. Maybe even nodding your head yes and no a few times. And then allow yourself to completely ragdoll down. Shift your weight into your heels. Maybe soften your knees a little bit. Give them a little bit of a bend. Begin to shift your weight in your heels. Roll up your spine. Take your time. Your head be the last thing that lifts up. Inhale, roll your shoulders up. Exhale, release them down. Inhale up. Exhale down one more time. You're going to stay at the back edge of your mat, but you're going to get your block. Hold on to it for a moment. So you're going to need space. Make sure there's some space behind you and some space in front of you. And then from here, we're just going to walk through a little bit of some mobility exercise to strengthen the back side of the body. All you're going to do to start is shift your weight into your right foot so that it bears more and more weight until your left foot just hovers off the ground. And then from here, you're going to lean forward. It doesn't matter what hand the block's in right now. You're going to set your block down as far in front of you as you can reach. You can take that leg straight back behind you and then slowly rise up. And then you're going to go down and get it. You can bend your right knee as much as you can as well, or as you need to. Keep that left foot lifting off the ground. From here, you're going to put the block in your right hand. You're going to reach out to the side. You can bend your standing knee. Keep that left foot lifted. Reach out as far as you can. Rise back up to stand. And then go down and get it. Take your time. Put the block in your left hand. The right leg crosses back behind you, still lifting. Bend your standing knee. Place it out to the left as far as you can. Slowly rise. And then go and get it. Keep that foot lifting. As you exhale, you're going to come forward, bring the block down in front of you. Place your hands down, extend back through your left heel, coming into warrior 3. Keep lifting out of your standing leg. Keep pressing back through the heel. Maybe even opening up, opening up without falling over, if you can. That left leg coming into half moon. So left arm reaches up, toes point towards the side. One more breath. Rotate your left hip down. Can you rise all the way back up to standing? Still lifting that left leg, you're going to bring it out in front of you. Take a step forward as slowly as you can, rolling onto your left foot. Lifting the right foot, flexing the foot, keeping it lifted off the ground. Take a moment to find your balance point. And then when you feel stable and ready, reaching as far in front of you as you can, placing the block down or book or whatever you have, rising up, and then going to get it. Keep the block in the left hand, bend your standing knee, reach the right foot out to the side, reach to the left as far as you can. Rise back up. And then go get it. And then that right foot is going to cross back behind you. Reach out to the right. Rise up. And then find that block again. Take a moment to find your balance point. If the toes need to come down, that's okay. If you can keep that foot lifted, keep it lifting. Take an inhale. As you exhale, coming forward, warrior 3. And then slowly anchoring your left hand down, begin to open up that right hip. Reach your right hand up. Half moon. Rotate that right hip down. You're gonna keep the block on the mat to the right side of your mat, and then inhale, coming all the way up. Bring that foot in front. You're gonna step up onto the block or the book. I wouldn't suggest stepping up onto any other props. You can just, if you don't have a prop, it's okay. You can stand on the floor and then shift your weight into your right leg. This time you're going to bend your standing knee and then reach your left heel out as far in front of you as you can. Inhale up. Take the foot wide to the left, heel taps down. Inhale up. Let your hands be loose. Do what they need to help with your balance. Cross it back behind you. Toes tap down. Inhale up. And then reach straight back behind you as far as you can. And then rise up. Bring your knee out in front. Take it out to the side. And then arrive in tree pose. So foot to the inside of the calf, the inside of the thigh. Hands together. Breathing. If you feel fairly balanced here, on an inhale, reaching your arms overhead. Deep full breath in, reach up, exhale, release it down. Relax your left hip so that your left foot can dangle down as close to the mat as possible. Inhale, flex the foot, pull it up. Exhale, relax down. Just doing a couple more. And then next time the foot relaxes down, you can step off the block, move it to the other side, and then just step your left foot up onto it. Allow your right foot to dangle here for a moment. Find your balance point, and then you'll bend your left knee, tap your heel in front of you. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the standing leg, tap the toes out wide. Inhale up. Reach behind you, tap them down, rise up, and then right behind you as far as you can. This does not have to look graceful. This is quite challenging. We're just trying to activate some muscles that may have been doing a little bit more resting than they normally do. Bring your knee out in front. You're going to take the knee nice and wide and then come into tree. So foot to the calf, foot to the thigh, hands together. That block or book just adds that extra balancing component. If you feel balanced, inhale, float the fingers overhead. Deep full breath in, reach up. Exhale, release your hands down. Allow your leg, one more thing, we're almost there. Allow the foot just to dangle down, and then inhale, pick that right leg up. Allow the outer left hip to relax so the foot can dangle as close to the mat as possible, and then inhale up. Exhale down, last one. Inhale up, and then step off the block. You made it to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach up high. Exhale, folding forward. Hands can come to the floor, to the edge of the couch, to the block. Relax your head. Reconnect with the inflow and outflow of your breath. Maybe close down your eyes. Take one more full breath in. Release it out. Shift your weight into your heels. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down. Doesn't matter which foot, but you're going to take a big step back. And then you're going to pull your right heel in, or your left heel, depends what foot you step back with. Coming into goddess pose. So both your toes point outwards as much as possible. Your hips sink down. And to start, just bringing your hands onto your hips. Just taking a moment to settle into the pose here. When you feel fairly balanced, see if you can lift up one heel, lift up the other, just moving side to side. And then maybe lifting both heels and lowering. Moving through it a few more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, you're going to bring your hands down in front of you. Relax your head down. Breathe. You can always bring your hands onto a higher ledge if you need. Really connecting with that breath as your legs begin to do more work. One more breath. Bring your left hand underneath you. Right arm sweeps up, coming into a bit of a twist. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, release. Hands onto the thighs. Lift up about halfway. And then just begin to bring one shoulder into the midline. Release it out. And then other shoulder in, release it out, moving side to side. Coming back out, inhale, press into your legs. They might be burning a little bit, you can give them a bit of a shake. Spin your toes to face straight forward. Hands on your hips, inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, folding forward. You can bring your feet as wide apart as you'd like. You can support yourself with something under your hands. Relax your head, reconnect with your breath. Exhale your hands onto your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Spin your left toes towards the top of your mat, and then just take a couple steps or one big step all the way up. Just move through a little flow to come down. So inhale, arms raise up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back into a plank. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Actively press the mat away. Spread your shoulder blades nice and wide like we did at the beginning. Press back through your heels. Holding plank just for a few breaths. You can come down to your knees if you need to. Take a deep breath in, and then really, really slowly, taking 3 breaths, we're gonna lower all the way down. 2, 3, and let it go. Release down. Stack your hands, rest your forehead. You can bring a little movement in by shaking your hips side to side. And then you're gonna press back through your right heel. So you're gonna activate your right leg so that the whole leg, as much as possible, is lifting off the mat. So my right thigh is still touching the mat, but it's trying to lift. So everyone's body is shaped differently. So if your thighs don't lift off the mat, that's okay. Just getting that sense of that action of the thigh lifting. And then just circle the ankle here a few times. Change directions. And then you're gonna pull your heel in as much as you can. Extend your legs straight. Pull your heel in, extend straight. Next time your knee bends to a 90 degree, you're gonna stay here. Keep that thigh lifting. Lift the knee higher, lower down. Inhale, kick that right foot straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Inhale up, exhale down. Next time the knee's lifting, you're gonna take it wide and tap the knee down wide, bring it back to center. Right knee goes out wide, bring it back in. Doing that a couple more times. And the next time it's at center, exhale, release it, relax your head if it's lifted, bring whatever movement you need side to side. Just notice what happened to the breath. Were you holding the breath? It's okay if you were. But seeing if on the second side you can really focus on the inflow and outflow of the breath. So you can either keep your head down or lift it up. If you're lifting it up, just tuck your chin ever so slightly to keep a little length in the back of the neck. And then from here, pressing through the left heel, energizing the entire left leg so it's lifting off the ground. Begin to circle the ankle. And then change directions. And then pulling that left heel right in as much as you can. Pull, 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 and then release it straight. Pull it in, but see if you can keep that leg off the mat as you're doing this. And the next time the leg is at a 90-degree angle, the foot is flexed, so as if it was almost standing on the ceiling. You're gonna extend that leg close up towards the ceiling and then come down, but don't let the leg fully touch when you come down. Next time the knee lifts up a little bit, take it out wide, tap it down, back to center. Tap it down, back to center. The leg is lifted while you're doing this, so you should be able to begin to feel it in your left butt cheek a little bit. And if you're not, well, that's okay too. And then next time the knee comes to center, straighten the leg, relax the whole leg down, relax your forehead down. Invite a little movement side to side. We're almost there, almost done. And then bending both knees, flex both feet. Just let the thighs rest for a moment. On your inhale, pressing your pelvis down into the mat. Lift your knees up. Breathe here. And then you're going to take your knees wide. Keep them lifting off the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together. Keep this whole unit lifting. If your head's lifted, ever so slight tuck of the chin, lengthen the spine. Breathe. This is really hard to do. Breathe. If your thighs don't fully lift, that's okay. Keep lifting the feet. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release it all down. If you need movement, bring movement. If you need stillness, rest in your breath for the next few moments. Bring your hands under your shoulders. So you have a couple options. You can, actually what we're just gonna all just press up onto our knees. Hug your elbows in, tuck your chin. As on your next inhale, press yourself up onto your knees. Take those knees wide. Exhale back, child's pose. Finding a comfortable position here. Having the hips all the way back isn't always the most comfortable position for everybody. If it's too much on your knees, if you're pregnant, you can always lift your hips up as much as you need. You can even come up onto forearms. You can stack fists. Really finding a way, like I said at the beginning of the class, to make it work for you. What does your body need in this present moment? Take one more breath. And walk your hands back just a little bit. You're going to inhale your right arm up. You're going to take that right arm underneath your left, coming into a thread the needle. Release the side of your head down. Soften into that shoulder. Relax into that right shoulder as much as you can. Relax your belly, breathing deep into your belly. Deep breath in. Release it out your mouth. Slowly take a moment to unwind yourself back at center. Take a breath here. And then inhale the left arm up. Exhale, weave it underneath your right arm. Relax your head, soften into your shoulder. And just notice the places you're still holding tension. Can you soften anywhere? Can you lean in a little bit more? Can you let go a little bit more? Deep, slow breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Inhale, slowly unwinding yourself back to center. You can walk your hands back all the way. And then just coming into a seated position. Gonna bring the soles of your feet together. You can sit up on that book or a folded blanket if you'd like, just to find a place where your pelvis can naturally tip forward. What happens with tight hamstrings is a lot of times we dump into our low backs here. So seeing if you can rise up tall and then exhale, coming forward, relaxing your head. Relax your shoulders. Soften all the muscles of your face. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, slowly rise. So we're going to come in to one final restorative pose for the end of class, and we do it in a lot of my classes. It's my favorite. We're going to come into legs up the wall. So you can find some wall space. You can pause the video if you need and find some wall space. And then all you're going to do is sit next to the wall. Doesn't matter which hip. Slide down onto your side. You'll have noticed that your hips have come away from the wall. This is the least awkward spot to shimmy them in. So just bring them in so that they're in contact with the wall, and then rotate your feet up. And just take a moment. We're going to move through a few leg variations here so that you can find what feels the best in your body. So first variation, legs straight up. Notice how this feels. If this is too much on your hamstrings, you can push yourself a little further away from the wall. Or if it feels good, you can stay there. On your next exhale, allow your feet to slide wide. And just notice how this feels. And then all you're going to do from this position is bend your knees and slide your feet down. So you're standing on the wall, almost like you're in malasana, a wide-legged squat. Notice how this feels. And then the last variation is just to slide the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to fall out, coming into Baddha Konasana. And then choosing the variation that felt the best in your body. And as you perhaps move into that position, finding an arm variation that feels good. So the hands can do whatever they choose here. You have full creative freedom. Close down your eyes. Allow that back line of your body that did so much work today to be supported, to release into the earth beneath you. And with each exhale you take, relaxing a little bit more into that earth. Releasing a little bit more tension. The inhales create the space you need. Inhales inflate your lungs like a balloon, creating space in your body. Allow that exhale to be the release into that space. And for the next few moments here, allowing your mind to focus as much as possible on the inflow and outflow of your breath. Each time your breath gets distracted, can you notice wherever you've drifted to? Acknowledge that thought, allow it to float away, and re-anchor yourself in your breath. Take a slow, full breath in, fill your lungs. Sigh it out. From here, just beginning to hug your knees in. Bring a little movement side to side. And then rolling onto your side, and it doesn't matter which one. And you're just going to simply push yourself off the wall, finding your way onto your back in final Shavasana on your mat. Extend your legs out, feet can come nice and wide. Hands fall away from the body, palms face up. Take a slow, full breath in. Sigh it out. Do that 2 more times. Deep breath in. Let it go. Another breath in. Let it go. Allow yourself to fully arrive in Shavasana. And just take a moment here to ask yourself, What does your body need? Do you need to stay in Shavasana longer today? Do you need more of a rest? If the answer is yes, pause the video. Stay here as long as you want. If you're ready to come back, just take a moment to notice your whole body resting in this space. The shape and outline of your whole body. Noticing the places that are warmer. Noticing the places that are cooler. The sensations and textures against your skin. Begin to invite movement back into your fingers and toes. Allow that movement to grow and stretch your body in whatever way you need. Slowly finding your way onto your side. It can be your right or your left. Taking another moment to pause here. Another moment to breathe. Slowly find your way back to a comfortable seated position. When you arrive, pressing the palms of your hands together. Closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to bring your thumbs right into your heart space. To feel your beating heart. To sense the energy that lies here. Begin to rub your hands together, creating heat and energy. And then place your warm hands over top of your closed eyes, absorbing that heat and energy into your face, allowing it to flow down your shoulders, your chest, belly, hips, legs, and feet, till your whole body is surrounded with this energy. Take a deep, full breath in, fill your lungs. Last one, let it go. And then begin to blink your eyes open behind your hands, allowing in some light. And then release your hands down. My deepest gratitude for all of you that joined me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.